Hi, I'm Pat Baer, and this is Pat Baer's Anime Club. It's my ongoing video series about anime. Sometimes I take a deep dive into a subgenre, or I might look at a trend that's happening, or I might explain something from the past, or give you a brief introduction or overview about a particular topic. This time around, this is actually based on a suggestion that I received in the comment section. So if you have an idea for something you'd like to see me do a video about in the world of anime or, the manga or whatever, you can leave a comment and I might even get to it real quick. Let's talk about great anime based on video games. This was a suggestion, and I'm happy to talk about this. Now, I've talked a little bit about visual novels, and I've talked a little bit about, over the course of doing this series, I have talked about anime that is based on video games, and also video games that are based on anime. Now, oftentimes, a MMO that you've never heard of becomes very popular in Asian countries, and an anime gets based off of it. Or it's in conjunction, and they're like, we made an anime with this video game that's coming out. Often an MMO that you've never heard of, or some kind of gacha game. But sometimes anime is so good that they're like, we're going to make a video game on it. And then sometimes video games are so good and so popular, they're going to make an anime based on it. And it turns out they make a good one, or even a great one. I've got 5 examples here, and let's get into it right now. Let's talk about one of my personal favorites. Persona 4, and also Persona 4 Golden. There's an anime based on it. They got 26 episodes, which is real great, and it's really fun. Yes, it does tell the story, and of course there are cutscenes in Persona 4 that are very anime inspired. There's like 2 different levels of cutscenes in the game, and it makes sense to do like a beat by beat adaptation of it, to show the school stuff, to show the monsters, to show the personas being born, and all kinds of stuff like that. And one of my favorite parts of this show is it gets right the part where the main character does side quests. There's a 2-episode little mini arc where Nanako, our young lady and the cousin of our main character, is trying to figure out what's going on with Big Bro. It's summer vacation and Big Bro has disappeared to go help people. And so she becomes a detective to figure stuff out. And this is fun because that's not part of the game. That's just a thing that got added to the anime to kind of flush out her character a little bit, which is fun. And so she goes and she figures out what's going on with her Big Bro. And then we get to see it from his perspective the next episode. And it turns out he's doing side quests on behalf of the mysterious fox. He's going out there and doing a bunch of stuff to get an umbrella for Nanako, who lost the umbrella related to the fox. I don't remember all the details, but we get to see some of the other social links that aren't necessary for the game, but like we're gonna see the nurse, and we're gonna see like the kid gets tutored, and the kid that needs friends, and just like a bunch of these side characters kind of get to interact. And it's fun to see them because they're not part of the main story, so they don't end up in the anime. If the anime had like 52 episodes, they'd be in there more. We don't get to see Funky Student. That would have been nice, but you do get to see stuff that isn't exactly in the anime, but fits in that world. And I find that to be very charming and fun. So if you haven't checked it out, I recommend Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden, the anime adaptations, especially if you played the video games. But if you haven't, I still think it's a fun story with good animation that they clearly cared a lot about. Now, let's talk about an anime that is based on a video game, and I have not played the video game. I thought that would be fun to include one of them. Let's talk about Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which did very well at the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Very popular series. We're getting more of it. Based on Cyberpunk 2040, whatever, which I didn't play. I did not play that video game. I don't think I'll ever play that video game. But I did watch this anime. And like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I know it exists because the video game was popular, but also it's just good. And so if you don't ever care about playing that video game, you just want to see a cool anime that's in a cyberpunk world with great characters and like really top-notch animation, this is a easy recommendation. And then maybe you'll want to play the video game where I didn't. Or you might just want to watch like a let's play of somebody playing the video game. If you got a streamer that a couple years ago they didn't, it's all on their YouTube channel, you should check that out because like maybe that'll inspire you to watch that. instead of playing the game, which seems like still a mess. Better than it was, still a mess. And then, yeah, and also, like I said, this is just a great anime and really enjoyable. And you don't, like, honestly, maybe there's stuff I'm missing. I'll say that. There might be stuff I'm missing by not playing this video game when I watch the anime, but it didn't really hurt my enjoyment. It's one of those things where, like, it's a problem you don't know. Like, it's the thing you don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm missing from it. Maybe I would like it even more, but I already really like it. So, am I missing out? Okay, we had to talk about visual novels. Now, some people out there will say, hey, visual novels are not video games. They're just like animated comics. To which I will say, well, one, choose your own adventure. Books are great. And two, it's fucking a video game. It's a goddamn video game. You play it on a computer. You hope that someone is doing a fan translation up until pretty recently. And even then, there's still some that don't show up there. If you're not familiar, we're talking about the Fate Stay Night anime, with many animes and movies, which then led to other Fate anime, which then led to comic books and side stories and more video games and movies that to tell the different routes, because it goes, it's a light novel, not a light novel, visual novel, and those different routes. And so the different anime kind of look at that. And then there's even an offshoot where like it's about the characters and that very little fighting happens, and it's mostly about cooking food, and it's just a cool slice of life, and it's my favorite of the Fate anime. Oops, I really like it. It's real good. I wanted to talk about this because visual novels getting anime adaptations is like, for a long time, that was the bulk of any kind of video game getting it, any sort of other media property it felt like a natural transition. This is a very popular thing. There's so much plot to it and so much story, and it's got this like rabid fan base. We'll make an anime based on it, and then we'll sell more copies of the game. And then people get to learn that a lot of these, I'm not saying all of them, a lot of these, including the Fate Stay Night franchise and the various Fates, are horny. They're adult-oriented. And then the anime has to be less of that. Just tease it a little bit for some of the diehard fans, but a little bit safer for work. But the games are the games, and they had a it's like, yeah, there's a lot of action and conversation, but there's also a lot of action and conversation. Wink. So yeah, that is a fun thing to be like. Every once in a while, I will hear someone just saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to check out that video game," and it's like, well, do you know? And that might also be the case if we're talking about another very popular anime based on a visual novel, which is a video game, Steins Gate. I'm not going to get too much into the timey-wimey-ness of Steins Gate, the plot. I think, like, I will say as someone who's played maybe like half of the game, I don't remember exactly how much I played, but I played some of it. I didn't play all of it. I didn't finish it, but I played some of it. I think, for me anyway, it was a better digestion by watching the anime than by playing the video game. And that's just for me. For you, it might feel the complete opposite, where you're like, no, I want to make decisions, I want to be in control, but it's like, I kind of just want to let it wash over me, and then really start to dissect the episodes and try to figure out what's going on and the bigger picture and all that, and avoid looking up spoilers, but maybe actually accidentally seeing spoilers when it was coming out, and all of that. I don't think I've actually ever talked about Steins Gate on one of these before, but it is a really good series, and I don't want to, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil anything. If you have seen it, heck yeah. But yeah, it's based on a visual novel, and a real popular one. A very popular visual novel at that. And then I don't know if it's a more popular... That's a fun thing to think about. Some of these I can say, this is a more popular video game than it is an anime. Or this is a more popular anime than it's a video game. Like Persona 4, I would say probably a more popular video game. Cyberpunk Edgerunners, I don't know. It was really popular as an anime. But maybe the video game? Fate is anime all the way. That was a pretty niche game series. It's got its defenders, certainly, and its diehards, but it's an unbelievably popular anime franchise. And there's almost always, like almost every year since it started, there has been a Fate anime of some kind, either in production or pre-production. They're always working on another one. And then Steins Gate, I would say probably more popular as an anime, but I don't actually know for sure. This next one, though, and our last one that we'll talk about here, I can tell you for sure. Both of these are incredibly popular. There's probably more people that have watched the anime than played the game, but that's only because it's such an international hit and it's ran for so long as an anime, and then so many iterations, and then also the video game's still very popular. Don't get me wrong, but nowhere near the anime views. And that's Pokemon. An anime based on a video game so popular that I'm sure there are people out there that don't know that the video game came first, that just assume that the card game and the video game came because the anime was so popular. It's unbelievable. Like, honestly, what do I need to say about Pokemon? Like, it's just an institution at this point. This isn't all of the Pokemon series. It's just most of them. It's just most of them, but not all of them. Like, it's remarkable how many Pokemon shows that are out there that have existed out there doing their thing. Ash has he's done. He's not the main protagonist anymore, but we're still going to get more Pokemon shows. There have been manga and video games of all kinds, the mainline games, the sub games, when they were just a handheld game, and then they would have like the console Pokemon Stadium kind of stuff, and then the, of course, the companion apps, and then Pokemon Go, and now there's a digital trading card version of the game, and all kinds of stuff is out there. It's just wild. It's an institution. It is just unbelievably popular as an anime, internationally, of course, worldwide. And then also, like I said, video game, real popular. The video games did very well for many, many years, and now, Switch, and they'll be a good seller on the Switch too. And if they don't make it Switch compatible, it will sell more copies of Switch too. That's the thing. Putting a Pokemon game on a new console sells consoles. And I would say this. I think the Wii U would have sold better if they had if they didn't have their handheld division and they put a mainline Pokemon game on the Wii U. They would have sold more Wii U's. I don't know if it would have been a success, but it would have been the Pokemon system, which for some people that's all the 3DS was, or the DS. That was the Pokemon system, and maybe you got like a Mario Kart and a couple other things, and that Tetris DS, real good version of Tetris. But like, it's the thing for Pokemon. That's the thing about Pokemon. It's like, it's just been big forever, seemingly, and will probably continue to be so because people will still be interested in that. And the little side series that come out, Pokemon Concierge, real fun. You should check it out if you haven't. Yeah, I think that's about it as far as the great anime based on video games. If there's something that did not make this, because obviously I only talked about 5 anime franchises that are based on video games. If there's other ones that you think should be on this list or this grouping, let me know in the comments. I might do another one of these videos down the line. I might disagree, though. I might think, actually, I don't think that's a great anime, so I'm going to disagree with you on that. Because everybody's tastes are different. But let me know if there's something that, like, a glaring omission where you're just like, Pat, obviously the best anime based on a video game is this. It's Dragon Quest Dai. I can't believe you didn't talk about that. And I'll be like, yeah, that's real. It's real good. You're not wrong. It just didn't make my list, but it is real good. Or the Digimon. Honestly, if you were like, it's Digimon, Pat. Maybe Digimon should have been on the list. I talked about Pokemon instead of Digimon. Yu-Gi-Oh could be So Yu-Gi-Oh! Is based on the manga, not based on the video game, so that doesn't count. But, like, Digimon is based on the video game, so that counts. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just... I haven't done a video on Yu-Gi-Oh! There are there are good videos out there on Yu-Gi-Oh! You don't need me to tell you about that. There are real good in-depth things on that. But if you really want to see me do a video on Yu-Gi-Oh!, let me know in the comments, I guess. If you have ideas for future videos you'd like to see, again, this was based on an idea presented in the comments. And I was like, ooh, that's a good one. I definitely want to do that. So that's great because I do run out of ideas. We got one more video here before the season ends to do here. We'll go do a little housekeeping. I got one more, and then the video after that will be the summer review and the fall preview, and we'll get into that. And then, of course, after that, talking about the isekai that's coming out, some kind of other video, then recommendations, because I'm trying to move recommendations to more of the middle of the season. So we'll do that. I have ideas for videos to do. I do want to do another weird manga, because I've done a few of those, and I really like doing that. So I do want to do another one of those. I want to do another worst reveals and plot twists in anime. Because we're almost there. The reason I did the first one was because I wanted to talk about a show and then realized, oh wait, actually it's not going to come out by the time I finish this, but I've done all the work. There's a show out this season that has a big reveal coming, and I can't wait to talk about it because it's so bad. So I do want to do that. I said that the shows I never want to revisit, or anime I never want to revisit. What about the shows that are my comfort watches? I do want to do that again. And do that. And then also, I talked about in the last video, maybe doing a Devilman Crybaby rewatch. And I might do that. But if I do that, it's going to be around Halloween. It'll be one of my October videos. I still have not committed to doing that. But if I do, it will be in October. Because it's nice to do some thematic videos now and again. But yeah, if you have other ideas for videos you'd like to see me do, please let me know. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next one. It's probably going to be weird manga because I've been wanting to do that for a bit. But I don't know. I don't know yet. I do know this has been a fun episode for me to make. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Watch another one. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Tell a friend. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.